Her family is very wealthy and has like a private island in Rhode Island, a private island off of Rhode Island. Oh, wow. Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with my July haul. So, July. I wish I had a really good explanation for why all of a sudden I bought so many things, but July was a little bit insane as far as purchasing. We went to a lot of used bookstores. We went up to visit my parents, and they have a half-price books near them, which we don't have near us. So, of course, I had to go in, and we looked around. I don't think I actually got, I think I got one thing there. And then we had some friends come visit, and they love the book warehouses, so we went there, and there was a small independent romance bookstore that opened up, and so I had to check that out. And then there were some sales going on, so we picked up some things. I had a book, like I pre-ordered a special edition from Fairlight that came through, so like I wish I had a great explanation for why there are so many. I just did a lot of bookshop visiting last month, so that's my reasoning. Otherwise, my stacks are about to topple. So let's just dive in. Starting off my half-priced book section, I'm realizing I actually got three things. But the first one was Deep End by Ali Hazwood. This is the swimming adult romance that is hers. I picked it up because it had the beautiful sprayed edges, and I have been thinking, this is one of the only books I think at the moment of hers that I do not own. I'm pretty sure everything that she has published I now own. So I needed to pick this up at some point, and I was really happy to see it there because half-price books obviously means cheaper prices. So I don't know a lot about this one except for, it says here, a competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in this steamy college romance. So it's more new adult than adult. I've heard this one, like some people love this one, some people hate this one. I just absolutely adore Ali Hazwood's writing and her characters in general. Like, it does not matter what she's writing about, I'm invested. So like, while I'm not the biggest sports person, I think of all the sports, swimming might be the one that I care the most about. And so I love her stuff, and of course I had to pick it up. And then when I saw the sprayed edges, they had the fancy sprayed edges, I said, well, it was meant to be then. I then went to the Kristen Hanna section of the store, and I picked up Wild. I have never heard of this one, and honestly, normally I wouldn't care about a situation like this book is about, but it's Kristen Hanna, and also this cover was just stunning. This is a woman who must escape her past, a child who must unlock her future. It just looks really good, and I know Kristen Hanna is going to write stories that are impactful. So this follows, it says, child psychiatrist Dr. Julia escapes to her hometown. It takes place in the Pacific Northwest. She has a scandal that has left her career in ruins, so she escapes to her homeland and begins working with a tiny, extraordinary little girl who just appears. She's 6-year-old, she's speechless and alone, and she offers no clues as to her identity and no hint of her past. So it's the two of them, this woman working with this child, to kind of see if we can learn a little bit more. I don't know if this woman lives on her own and this child appears to her, or if it just happens to be in the same town. I don't know all the details, but that normally wouldn't be something that I would be interested in. But again, Kristen Hanna, honestly, anything Kristen Hanna writes, if it sounds remotely interesting, I want to pick it up, and this one sounded a little bit interesting. So I picked this one up, so we'll see how it goes. I also just cannot get over how stunning, I'm obsessed with this cover. I've also been on the hunt to pick up some more Ruth Ware things because I've really enjoyed her stuff. And one that sounds really interesting to me was The Death of Mrs. Westaway. And this one is an inheritance type story. I'm also interested in The Woman in Cabin 10. I know that's her most popular book, but I never actually read that one, and so I'm curious about that one as well. Either way, this one basically follows, is it going to tell me on the back? It's not. It's just going to tell me the praise for this book. Awesome. Love that. So if I can remember correctly, because the back tells me literally nothing, it's like an inheritance where like Mrs. Westaway dies and this person gets told they're part of the will, except for they don't know who this woman is, and so like they come to her estate and it's like a will reading, and it's one of those like who's who, why are they involved kind of situations. So I'm curious because I have really enjoyed the Ruth Ware books that I have read. This is one of the other books of hers that sounds the most interesting besides The Woman in Cabin 10. I also have 0 Days. That's the other one by her that I own. So I found this one and I said, yes, give me, I must try. So I'm excited about that one. And then the next 2 books, or I guess the final 2 books from Half Price Books, are for my husband. They're both by, oh no, they're not. I thought they were both by the same author. The first one is The Client by John Grisham. This is the final book that we own of his, that we own in paperback, and Chris is trying to collect all the hardbacks. He really likes the way that they look together, and he's like, this is one of his favorite authors, and so he has really enjoyed a lot of his stuff. The Client was one of the books that he really enjoyed, and we still had like the tiny mass market paperback. So we found this hardcover, and like for some reason, I don't know why it is, this one was the hardest to find a hardcover for, because like it was nowhere. But we do have this one finally. This one's like an older book. It came out in, where is the copyright plate date? Oh, 1993. So it's been out for quite a while. He does like legal thrillers, so obviously this one is probably another legal thriller of sorts. We picked it up so it could replace the one that we have. And then he also picked up a nonfiction book called Next Man Up by John Feinstein, a year behind the lines of today's NFL. Well, it's not probably today anymore. This came out in 2005. John Feinstein writes sports journalistic stories. He has like a lot of middle grade books that are about like these 2 kids who like have become reporters and like are discovering scandal and all these different sports. And so John Feinstein, I think, was a reporter or like is involved in some point. I don't really remember, but like this is an author that he really loves, and so the fact that he wrote a nonfiction, he said, yes, I must pick up. So we picked up that one. All right, and then I have my Book of the Month books. Yes, books plural. I have 3. I had the normal one that I was interested in, and then because my birthday was in June, one of the books I got in June was delayed, so I got a credit for that. But then I also got like a birthday credit, so I picked up a few things. Plus, I think I skipped a month, so like basically nothing. I paid no money for these. The first one that was like my pick for July is the one that you've already seen because it's in my July TBR, which is These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean. This one is another kind of like inheritance story. It follows our main character Alice, who basically, her family is very wealthy. They have a private island off the Rhode Island coast, and she hasn't been welcome there for 5 years. She's kind of been kicked out of the family, and then her father passes away, and so she comes back for the funeral basically as a closure. I'll be there, it's my dad, but like one day and I'm out. And it turns out that unfortunately her father had other plans. The eccentric manipulative patriarch left his family a final challenge, an inheritance game designed to upend their world. The rules are clear: spend 1 week on the island, complete your assigned tasks, and receive the inheritance. But it's her and her family, and there's lots of drama and craziness. So I don't know. It sounded interesting, so I picked that one up. One of my freebies that I got was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I have the other 2 in this series, Yours Truly and then Something About the Summer, Just for the Summer. I read the 3rd one, but I haven't read the other 2, and I didn't own this one, so I decided to get this one as well because it is a trilogy and they are all connected, kind of. This is a small town romance, which normally I wouldn't be interested in, but because I know the characters in this book, because they played a role in the 3rd book, I'm interested to see how things got started with them. I've heard good things about this. I like Abby Jimenez's writing, so I wanted to complete the series that I have. It says it's a funny, powerful novel about trading in the life you have for the life you want. And so it follows this woman named Alexis who's had her world turned upside down because of this hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. So it's like city girl meets country boy situation. I think she has to leave the city for something, and they just happen to run into each other. I don't know. I really like Abby Jimenez's writing, so I picked this one up, and we will see how that one goes when I get around to it. And the third book I don't know a ton about, to be completely honest, and that is Half Sick of Shadows, and this is by Laura Sebastian. This is The Story of Camelot is Hers. So it's an Arthurian retelling, which I am all about. I love Arthurian stories. This one was from the June 2021 box, so I'm quite a few years behind, but I also wasn't getting Book of the Month then. But I don't know, Arthurian legend, I feel like that's all I needed to know. So it says, the Lady of Shalott reclaims her story in this bold feminist reimagining of the Arthurian legend. So it follows Elaine. It says, Elaine alone carries the burden of knowing what is to come, for Elaine of Shalott is cursed to see the future. So I don't know a lot about this, but it's a feminist reimagining of Arthurian legend. I feel like it's a standalone. I really like the chapter heads. I think they're really cool looking. They also like they're really short chapters, which I also love. So I don't know. Sounds good. I'm all about it. All right, and then we have my random stack of romances that I got for sale. The first one is Where Did You Go? This is the third book in the Infatuated Fae story series by Jan O'Reilly. I have the first two. I got them from my used book warehouse. They were just kind of fun. They looked indie published. I wasn't really sure about it. I found this one for like crazy cheap, and I said, even though I haven't read the series, I think the fourth one comes out this year. It's Fae. That's all I know, is that it's Fae. And I'm not going to read the back of this one because I don't want to be spoiled. The first one is called, I've got it over there, How Does It Feel? So all the books have questions in the title, which is kind of interesting. Either way, I don't know a ton about this. I just know that it's Fae, and I'm all about it. These covers are stunning, so I really hope I like them. They're not very long, but I decided to just go for it, and we're just gonna hope that I enjoy them, because now I'm investing in the series. Also picked up a copy of The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary, which is the only book, I believe, yes, of Beth O'Leary's I didn't own. This is a Christmas story. I started reading it last year. No, it was the year before. And I just, I don't know, got distracted or something, and I just never finished it. So this is hopefully going to be my Christmas book for this year. But it basically follows these two hotel receptionists who are arch rivals, find a collection of old wedding rings and compete to return them to their owners, discovering their own love story along the way. So they work at this Forest Manor Hotel, which is quite literally falling apart. So it's the two of them trying to figure things out. It's definitely like there's a miscommunication and that's why they don't get along. Either way, I didn't own it, and of course I need to, so I'm hanging on to it until Christmas comes around. And then I'll stick it with the Christmas books, and it can go as a seasonal thing. I then picked up a couple of books by Lana Ferguson because I read Under Lock and Key, and I absolutely adored that one. So I'm obsessed with her writing, and so I have another book by her, but these, I want to read everything by her. So this one is called The Fake Mate. So this is a werewolf-esque story that says two wolf shifters agree to be fake mates but unexpectedly find something real in this steamy paranormal romantic comedy. This has the same vibes of it's fantastical but it feels contemporary. And then this one, again, it's because the author, The Game Changer, it says a hockey player and a baker shoot their shot in a steamy new romance. I don't really care about sports romances. I keep saying that, but I keep picking them up. But I love this author, so I went ahead and got a couple of things by her. I'm also very interested in her most recent book, which is Overruled. It's about two lawyers. So anyway, she's got a fan of me, so I decided to pick a couple of those up. And then I also decided to pick up Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazwood, which is her 3 STEM novellas. I have read these and I loved them, but I really just wanted them physically, so I need to reread them so I can tab the crap out of this book. But this is the only other book besides Deep End, Ali Hazwood, that I don't own. So I did pick up the other two. So now I'm up to date. So yes, I picked up that one. It's just STEM novellas. I loved it. Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. I think Stuck With You, the middle one, was my favorite. I read them last year. They were fantastic. And then my husband went to a conference that he does for art teachers every year. And this guy was there, so he picked up his memoir. I know absolutely nothing about it, but it's called Seeing Through, The Chronicles of Sex, Drugs, and Opera by Ricky Ian Gordon. He said it sounded really interesting. It's a memoir by this guy. He's musical. I literally know nothing, so that's what I can tell you. The next chunk are from that book warehouse. We went with those friends. I had a coupon. I had a gift card for Peanut and I's birthday, so I picked up a couple of things. Actually, I picked up one book and a bunch of manga, and that book is King's Rising by C.S. Cott, which is the third book in the Captive Prince trilogy. I really, really was on the lookout for this one because the first two, I haven't read the series, but I've heard really good things by people like in my real life that I trust, and these are the old covers, and I had the first two in the old covers. And if I had tried to buy them like online, they would have had these new covers, which are stunning. Just they don't match, and I wanted them to match. So I finally found the third one that matched the other two, and I'm excited. I'm hoping to binge this series maybe the beginning of next year. I'm not sure when I'll get around to it, but I feel like I just want to do all three at the same time. It basically, from what I can tell, it's a prince who is captured by a rival prince, maybe? I don't know. It's a male romance. It's set in like a historical setting. I'm in. I then picked up volumes 2 and 3 of Happy Married because they had quite a few there. But these were the only ones, and then they had like 2, 3, and then like 6, 7, 8, and I was like, all right, I can't justify all of those, so I just got the next two. I loved the first one. It's a arranged marriage of convenience situation. It was so much fun. It was super steamy, so I've really been wanting to get to the other two. I need to reread the first one in order to get to the other two, I think, but I'm okay with that. So I did pick up these two, volume 2 and 3, and I am stoked because I like the first one was just so good. And then ironically, I realized that these are by the same author, and I didn't notice that. But I had these on my TBR, and that is the first 2 volumes of An Incredible Case of Love. And I don't remember exactly what this was about. Oh, after witnessing a handsome and charming young doctor save a stranger's life 5 years ago, our main character trained to be a nurse, but when she meets the doctor again and they start working together, she finds out that he is nothing like the man she imagined him to be. So it's their romance. I feel like when I did my big manga vlog that I did like a couple of years ago, I got this as a recommendation in that one. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I feel like I did. Either way, yay. And then this one was just goofy. I picked up the first volume of Fire in His Fingertips. A flirty fireman ravishes me with his smoldering gaze. Feels goofy. We're gonna give it a shot. I then picked up 2 books at that new romance bookstore I was telling you about. The first one is Most Ardently. It's a Pride and Prejudice remix by Gabe Cole Nova. This is a male reimagining of Pride and Prejudice. I've read in the same kind of remixed series, I read She Made Boys, which was a remix of The Great Gatsby, and it made one of our main characters was trans. I think actually they both were, now that I think about it. Either way, I'm very interested to see if this is just gender bent, if it's a trans character. Either way, it's a male romance. It's Pride and Prejudice. I feel like that just says it all. And then I also picked up Guild, which is the first in the Plated Prisoners series by Raven Kennedy. It's like a King Midas situation. I've heard really good things, but I'm not sure. Like I don't know. So I picked it up in the hopes that it'll be good, because I've heard good things about it, but I don't know a lot about it, so we're going to give that one a shot. And then the final book I got was a Fairyloot special edition of The Deathly Grimm by Catherine Byrne. This is the second book. I don't know if it's the final book in the Grimm series. The first one was The Forest Grimm. Have I read the first one? No, but I decided to just give it a shot because it sounded really interesting. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, the end pages, under the dust jacket, under the cover. I mean, it's giving me fall vibes. So we're going to give that one a shot. Oh, it's also signed, because of course it is. Sorry, wrong page. There it is. I don't remember a lot about what the first one's about, but it's a dark fairy tale where they go in the forest. I don't know. I really don't know. This is definitely an impulse buy, but I've heard really good things. Ooh, look at this. Chapter heads are beautiful. I trust Fairyloot. I've been very surprised with books that I've gotten from Fairyloot, thinking nothing of them, and then them being amazing. So I have high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be good. So hopefully I'll read the first one to read the second one. And that's it. Sorry, I kind of rushed through that because Peanut is now awake and mad at me for not going to get her. So I need to go grab her real quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, let me know all of your bookish thoughts down below if you've read any of the books that I have mentioned in today's video, or if there's something that you have picked up recently that you're excited about, or just tell me some fun things that you are currently reading. That is also acceptable. And if you want to comment something but you're not sure what to comment, comment something foresty, trees, leaves, whatever it is, just because that's next to me. And also, I'm ready for fall. I've reached that point. But that's all I have for you guys today, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe it down below if you'd like to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there as well as other fun bookish links, so go check all that out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.